Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure for me to be here with you people at this afternoon, though through video link. I am also delighted to know that members of the bar are also participating in this session. I got very old intimacy and interaction with the members of the Murray Bar Association as well as District Bar Association Rawalpindi since 1980, when I was transferred and posted as Civil Judge Murray at Murray. Had a tour for 1 week in a month in winter season. Then after a long time, again I was posted as District and Session Judge Rawalpindi in February 2010 till my elevation in the year 2011. And then after elevation, while remaining on the Rawalpindi bench, I used to have an interaction with the old friends as well as new. Dear participants, today's topic is a very important, though complicated, having a far-reaching effect, not only for today, but for future as well. The topic, you are well aware, we will discuss the subject with the classification of two aspects. First one is some provisions of law, and second one is the practical aspect of the subject. I will dilate upon much more time on the practical aspects for the reason that it is more helpful and will be beneficial for the participants, which ultimately will be helpful not only to the advocates, but also to the members of the bench in order to examine the evidence collected, recorded, and produced through modern techniques and devices. Though the subject, as told, is the relevancy and admissibility of the evidence through modern devices and techniques under Article 164 of the Qanun-e-Shahadat Order 1984. But this is not the sole provisions in the Qanun-e-Shahadat Order 1984. There are also another enabling and permissive provisions of law, not only in the Qanun-e-Shahadat Order 1984, but also in other statutes as well. And out of which I will make reference to the two statutes in brief. No doubt, the provisions of Article 164 of the Qanun-e-Shahadat Order 1964 visualize and gives the concept of admission of evidence procured, collected, either in the criminal administration of justice or in the civil administration of justice through modern devices and techniques. But nevertheless, as I told you, there are other provisions in the Qanun-e-Shahadat order. For the brevity, I will now say Order 10 of 1984, regarding which I will make reference and brief sketch of 2 or 3 provisions out of them. First, you all are also well aware and conscious that in each and every statute, there is a definition clause, and by virtue of amendment made keeping in view the schedule of the Electronic Transaction Ordinance 2002, Ordinance 51 of 2002, certain amendments were made in the section Article 2 of the Order 10 of 1984. I'm just making reference to the provisions of Section 2, Article 2E of the order, whereby the certain expressions were mentioned in that sub-article, meaning thereby the article, sub-article E, automated electronic information, and it has been stated that all the expressions mentioned in the sub-clause E shall have the same meaning as assigned to them in the Electronic Transaction Ordinance 51 of 2002. Gentlemen, then there is a provision, and that is Article 46A of the Qanun-e-Shahadat order, which was also introduced by making amendment through the Ordinance 51 of 2002. When I say Ordinance 51 of 2002, it means the Electronic Transaction Ordinance 2002. Then there were also amendment made in Article 59 of President Order number 10 of 1984. The legislature also introduced explanation 3 and 4 of in the Article 73 of the Qanun-e-Shahadat order. Then we find another amendment in the old Article 85 of the Qanun-e-Shahadat order, while incorporating sub-article 6 in the Article 85, and then the Article 164, as is evident and discussed earlier. Keeping in with the paucity of time, it is not possible to deal with each and every amendment introduced in the President Order number 10 of 1984. However, I will just make reference to the provisions of Article 46A, Article 59, and then Article 164 of the Qanun-e-Shahadat Order 1984. Prior to making brief reference to these 3 provisions, I will make reference to the expressions which were incorporated in the subject under discussion. Rather 2. One is the relevancy, and the second is the admissibility. There is another expression as well, which is essential part of these 2 expressions, and that is the binding force, which is also commonly known as the evidentiary value. Ladies and gentlemen, the expression relevancy means having a nexus, logically probable, and Article 18 19 to 29 of Chapter 3 of Qanun-e-Shahadat Order 1984 deals with this aspect. The expression admissibility in brief means legally receivable in evidence by adopting mode to prove, keeping in view the provisions of Qanun-e-Shahadat Order 1984. Matter does not end here. As I told you, the third and the important expression is the evidentiary value, meaning thereby what sort of importance and weight can be granted and attached to the particular evidence generated and collected and produced through the modern devices and techniques in order to prove or disprove a fact in issue. Now I will make reference to the provisions of Article 46A, which states that statements in the form of electronic documents generated, received, or recorded by an automated information system while it is in working order are the relevant facts. The expression automated used in this article is of importance, which though has not been defined in the Qanun-e-Shahadat Order, but its definition has been given in subsection 2, subsection G of the Electronic Transaction Ordinance 2002, according to which automated means without active human intervention. So the evidence generated, collected through the electronic documents is relevant, and the question of relevancy in each and every case shall be determined keeping in view the facts and circumstances of the case. Article 59 is also relevant with reference to the subject under discussion, as amendment was introduced in it by incorporating the words "are as to authenticity and integrity of electronic documents made by or through an information system," and the last lines of the said article suggest that the evidence collected through electronic system shall be a relevant fact. Article 164, an important article, and you must have come across to this article many times, according to which in such cases as the court may consider appropriate, the court may allow to be produced any evidence that may have become available because of modern devices or techniques. Proviso was also added in this article, according to which the conviction on the basis of modern devices or techniques may be lawful. Meaning thereby, even if there is no other evidence, the evidence procured, collected, and produced in the criminal administration of justice by the prosecution or the complainant, as the case may be, if inspires confidence, convincing one, and proves the case beyond shadow of doubt, conviction can be recorded. But there is an exception to it, and that exception is that on the strength of evidence collected, generated, and produced through the modern devices and techniques, as mentioned in Article 46A, Article 59, and Article 164 of the Order 10 of 1984, by itself would not be sufficient to record conviction in cases of qasas or had, in which the parameter and yardstick mentioned by the Sharia are to be kept in view. These are the few provisions of the Qanun-e-Shahadat order which I have referred to. Now, I also make reference to the two provisions of the Electronic Transaction Ordinance 2002. The first is Section 3 of the said ordinance, according to which legal recognition has been granted by the statute to the evidence referred to in the said section. I read, no document, record, information, communication or transaction shall be denied legal recognition, admissibility, effect, validity, proof or enforceability on the ground that it is an electronic form and has not been attested by any witness. So keeping in view the mandate of Section 3 of the Transaction Ordinance 2002, evidence collected and generated through modern devices and techniques is a legal piece of evidence, admissible in evidence, provided it is relevant and got evidentiary value if the evidence has been produced in accordance with law. That is relevant evidence and got sanctity and would be sufficient to prove or disprove a fact both in the criminal as well as in the civil administration of justice. I also want to make reference to the provisions of Section 33 of the ordinance, according to which the provisions of Ordinance 51 of 2002 got overriding effect. It suggests that the provisions of this ordinance shall apply notwithstanding the matters being the subject thereof occurring. The provisions of this ordinance shall apply notwithstanding anything to the contrary contained in any other law for the time being in force. Meaning thereby, if certain thing has been made permissible under the provisions of the Electronic Transaction Ordinance and there is any contrary provision in any other statute, including the provisions of Qanun-e-Shahadat Order 1984, the provisions of Ordinance 51 of 2002 shall be given preference as it got overriding effect. With this basic and substantive reference, now we will deal with certain practical aspects which are much more important, and we will deal with it under the different headings. Number one is the print media, or when I say the print media, meaning thereby news item or press clipping. Next one is the photographs procured through camera, maybe the old, maybe the digital, or maybe the mobile telephone. Third one is the tape recorder. Next is CD, computer disk, mobile calls, SMS, MMS is another mode through which evidence can be collected. Email and fax, then is the DNA test. CCTV, footage of CCTV is another piece of evidence procured through modern devices and techniques. Then the polygraph test, and then general overview of the evidence collected through audio and video tapes and cassettes. Starting from print media or press clipping, either in any newspaper or magazine. This is the oldest mode of collecting evidence, which was even permissible prior to promulgation of Qanun-e-Shahadat Order 1984, meaning thereby it was found relevant even under the provisions of the Evidence Act 1872. And the first of all reference was made, and it was considered in the case of Khan Abdul Wali Khan versus Federation of Pakistan, and the citation is PLD 1976, page 75. Prior to dealing with the certain case law on the point, I will briefly give you the background and the mode of proving, meaning thereby how it can be admitted in evidence, and the second one is its evidentiary value, the press clipping or the news. Dear participants, any news item or press clipping, either in the newspaper or in any magazine, if not contradicted by the authority or the person to whom it has been attributed, is a relevant fact. Is irrelevant, provided that press clipping or the news item may be helpful or enable the court to prove or disprove a fact within the meaning of the provisions of Qanun-e-Shahadat Order 1984. What is the mode to prove the said press clipping or news item? The source of a news item has to be produced by the party who is banking upon the said news item or press clipping. And the third one is, what is its evidentiary value? The evidentiary, so far as the evidentiary value, though it can be used as a corroborative piece of evidence, but nevertheless, by itself would not be sufficient to prove or disprove a fact. मैं आपको इस पे एक केसला का मैंने हवाला दिया, अब्दुल वली खान केस वाला, PLD 1976, Supreme Court 57, and there are so many case law on the proposition. PLD 1998, Supreme Court 388, then PLD 1988, Supreme Court 416. Another citation on this subject is PLD 2009, Supreme Court 879, and PLD 2014, Sindh 538, PLD 2015, Islamabad, page 85. I will just make reference to the few lines of the enunciation made in PLD 2014, Sindh 538, Qurban Ali and another versus these state. Dealing with the point of admissibility, meaning thereby how the news item or the press clipping can be proved, it was held by the Leonard Sindh High Court that what is the mode to prove that the newspaper clipping could not be used in favor of the prosecution or defense unless author of the same was examined in a court as a witness. In order to reach this conclusion, the Leonard Sindh High Court went upon the case law titled Muhammad Ashraf Khan versus the state and another, 1996, Supreme Court Monthly Review, 1747. Another case law which I made reference is the division and judgment of the Honorable Islamabad High Court, Malak Muhammad Mumtaz Qadri versus the state, PLD 2015, Islamabad 85. It is also deals with the criminal administration of justice, and the appellant Malak Muhammad Mumtaz Qadri was awarded capital punishment by the trial court, and his appeal was pending before the Leonard Islamabad High Court, in which on behalf of appellants, certain news item and press clippings were banked upon in order to disprove the case of the prosecution. Speaking for the court, the learned judge deal with the subject, and in para 34 of the judgment, I will not read the whole para, which consists 15 to 16 lines, a few lines. Court, I quote, learned counsel have referred to some case law cited as Abdul Ghani versus the state, 2007 YLR 969, and Mohtarma Benazir Bhutto versus President of Pakistan, PLD 1998 Supreme Court 388, that the press clipping can be relied and can be looked into. We have considered this contention of the learned defense counsel, and it is observed that in the presence of some other direct, impeachable, and confidence-inspiring evidence, the press clippings can be considered and looked into as a corroborative material. This is the evidentiary value, as I told you earlier. But on their own strength, these press clippings are not enough to prove the existence of a certain facts. Meaning thereby, the press clippings and news item by itself, as I made reference earlier, would not be sufficient to prove or disprove a particular fact. So this is brief introduction of the news item or the press clipping. And now, in brief, the focal points. It is relevant, if helpful, to prove or disprove a relevant fact. What is the mode of proof? The source of news item or the press clipping is required to be appeared in a witness box, undeniably giving a prerogative to the other party to put him the questions in the form of cross-examination. Third one, it is a corroborative piece of evidence and by itself would not be sufficient to prove the fact. Gentlemen and ladies, keeping in view these 3 or 4 lines, one should be clear in mind that the admissibility and evidentiary value are two distinct expressions, and they cannot be that it cannot be said to be interchange expression. The next one is the photographs. Photograph through old cameras, manual, what I mean, is also an evidence procured and collected through modern devices. इसमें मैं आपको पहले कुछ 2-3-4 अथॉरिटीज बता के फिर आगे चलते हैं। 2002 पाकिस्तान क्रिमिनल लॉ जर्नल 1765, the other is 1990 civil law cases 331 Haji Sirajuddin versus Haji G.H. Khan, and PLD 2003 Karachi 148. Before making brief reference to one or to the case law, I will tell you the mode of admissibility, meaning thereby how a photograph can be admitted in evidence and its evidentiary value. So far as if a photograph is taken through manual camera, then the negative is also required to be produced in evidence besides the positive. And if it is a digital camera, then undeniably question of negative doesn't arise at all. Here also, like press clipping and news item, the person who prepared the photograph adopting any mode, maybe the digital camera, maybe through mobile phone, maybe the manual camera, is required to be appeared from the side of the party who is banking upon that particular evidence. इस पे अब मैं आपको बताता हूं कि इसकी एविडेंशियरी वैल्यू और एडमिसिबिलिटी के हवाले से। At this stage, I want to make it clarify that I am just making brief reference to all the subtopics which I told you earlier, keeping in view the compulsion of the time. So this is Haji Sirajuddin versus Haji G.M. Khan, 1990 civil law cases 331. This is from the jurisdiction of Leonard Sindh High Court. It was an appeal before the Leonard Sindh High Court arising out of the proceedings in the ejectment petition. Now, the Leonard single bench of the Honorable Sindh High Court, though opined that the photographs produced in the evidence are admissible, are not only relevant but admissible, but it was ruled out, but their evidentiary value was ruled out, keeping in view the facts and circumstances of that particular case. This is the para 9 of the judgment, only 3 or 4 lines. I will just read out. The use in the evidence of photograph pictures and the limits within which they are judicially receivable by way of proof of matters of fact are not matter free from difficulty. ये free from difficulty के जो अल्फाज बयान किए गए हैं वो इसकी evidentiary value के हवाले से हैं, and that too with reference to the facts before the Leonard Karachi High Court, Sindh High Court. And मैं आपको थोड़ी सी इसकी बैकग्राउंड भी बता दूं so that you may be able to appreciate the opinion of the honorable judge. This was an appeal through ejectment proceeding. It was the contention of the tenant that, sir, look, during the pendency of the ejectment petition, the landlord constructed another shops at a different place, and as such, the bona fide need of the landlord, which according to the landlord is bona fide, is close with malice. The rent controller as well as the first appellate court did not endorse the objection, and the honorable single bench of the Sindh High Court also endorsed the opinion of both the courts, formulating opinion that the said photographs, though are admissible, as was produced, keeping in view the mode and manner and the parameters for the proof of a particular fact, meaning thereby the photographs, but got no evidentiary value for the reason as it is not known the locality of the shops which were constructed according to the contention of the tenant. It was further ruled out that it got no evidentiary value in order to substantiate the contention of the tenant, for the simple reason that it is the prerogative of the landlord to select any shop for his personal need, and the mere fact that the landlord or the landlady got shops at some other place by itself would not be sufficient to put a question mark on the bona fides of the landlord, because it is he who has to decide which shop is suitable for his personal needs. So this was 1990 CLC 331. The second one, 2002 Pakistan Criminal Law Journal 1765. Same rule on PLD 2003 Karachi 148, but keeping in view the shortage of time, I won't make reference in detail to those case law. You can read out, but the same proposition of law has been expounded in these two citations. The third one which we can discuss is the tape recorder. Maybe through any voice is recorded through tape recorder or recorded through mobile phone. And first of all, I will tell you the principle and then 2 or 3 case law on the subject. Audio cassettes recorded through the device of tape recorder or through mobile phone is also a document, keeping in view the definition of the document contained in section 2 of the Qanun-e-Shahadat Order 1984. अब इसका प्रूफ करने का तरीका क्या होगा? What is the mode of its proof and the evidentiary value? I make reference to a very elaborative judgment of the Leonard Sindh High Court, and that is R.F. Hashwani and 3 others versus Sadruddin Hashwani and 3 others, PLD 2007 Karachi 448. और इसमें जो है न सिर्फ टेप रिकॉर्डर के हवाले से जो वॉइस रिकॉर्डिंग है उसके हवाले से बताया गया है, बल्कि while dealing with the provisions of Article 59 and 73, Article 73 deals with the provisions of the primary evidence. And as I told you earlier, explanation 5 and 6 were incorporated in Article 73 of the Qanun-e-Shahadat Order by virtue of the provisions of the Electronic Transaction Ordinance. Primary evidence और secondary evidence को भी डील किया गया, लेकिन मैं वो नहीं पढ़ता, मैं उसका सिर्फ आपको ये बताता हूं कि इसको साबित करने का तरीका क्या है। इसमें जो पैरा मुख्तलिफ केस लॉ डिस्कस किया हुआ है, मैं उस केस लॉ पे नहीं जाता। सबसे पहला जो यार्डस्टिक का पैरामीटर है, the audio recording may be on mobile phone or through the device of the tape recorder should be by an independent person. This is number 1. The second one, the transcript, which undeniably is required to be produced during the course of evidence by the party banking and putting reliance upon it is required to be prepared under independent supervision and control. Third one is the verification of the voice in order to rule out the element and danger of interpolation. Next is the proof of accuracy. And next parameter or the yardstick is that the performer who recorded the voice of a particular person against whom it is being produced and banked upon should have done so in the ordinary course of business. And the last one, which is connected with the accuracy of the proof of the accuracy, that there is no interpolation at all. These 5 or 6 parameters are required to be established by the person who is banking upon the voice messages recorded through any modern devices and techniques. और इसमें रिलाई किया गया 1986 civil law cases 1784. This is Hatam Ali Bhatti versus Qazi Abdul Hakim. Another case law which was referred to in the precedent is Musammat Yasmin R versus Minhas and others, PLD 2003, Karachi 148. Reliance was also placed upon certain case law from the Indian jurisdiction. Just make reference, AIR 1956, Punjab 173, AIR 1968, Supreme Court 179, AIR 1974, Rajasthan 79, AIR 1976, Calcutta 99, 1993, Criminal Law Journal 2863. It is a detailed judgment and almost whole case law, which I have not referred to, was dealt with and sketched. So this is with reference to the tape recorder or recording of the voice message, recording of evidence of a particular person. Next one is the CD, computer disks. मुख्तसर तौर पर करते हुए टाइम की कमी की वजह से कि रेलेवेंट का मैं आपको बता चुका हूं कि अगर ये सारी जो एविडेंस है, if it will be helpful and beneficial to the court to prove or disprove a fact, it will be relevant. The emphasis on the admissibility, the mode of proof, and then its evidentiary value. So far as the mode of proof is concerned, like first 2 aspects, meaning thereby the news item and the photographs and the tape recorder, 3, not 2. It is required that the proprietor should appear as a witness in the court, undeniably giving an option to the host, to the adversary to cross-examine him. और इस पे जो है वो PLD 2007 कराची 448, जिसका मैं आपको हवाला जो है वो पहले दे चुका हूं, लिहाजा इस पे मैं मजीद आपको जो है वो बर्डन नहीं करता, लेकिन आप इसको अगर पढ़ेंगे तो दिस इज अ वेरी एलेबोरेटिव जजमेंट dealing with the whole case law on this subject, keeping in view the provisions of Article 59, Article 73, Article 164 of the Qanun-e-Shahadat Order, and conscious attempt has also been made that what is the primary evidence which is generated through electronic devices and modern devices, and what is the secondary evidence. Next is mobile calls, SMS, or MS. This is the 4th सब टॉपिक एडमिसिबल इन एविडेंस, और इस पे मैं आपको पहले ही वो PLD 2007 Karachi 448 regarding which I have made reference earlier to you while dealing with the computer disk and the tape recorder. Need not to repeat it. Then PLD 2015 Lahore 231. Another citation is 2016 SCMR 274, 2021 SCMR 522. First of all, participants, I will make reference to the case law expounded in PLD 2015 Lahore 231, Munis Parveen versus Additional Session Judge, ex officio Justice of Peace Shore Court. It was a writ petition filed before the Honorable Lahore High Court against the order of the ex officio Justice of Peace, whereby order was made for the registration of case because the lady who filed the writ petition before the Lahore High Court, Lahore. Facts and brief that a matrimonial dispute arose between the spouses, and as per facts of the case, the husband divorced the writ petitioner through SMS. After observing the period of iddah, the lady contracted second marriage. Uncle of the husband, ex-husband, filed an application under section 22A22B of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1898 before the ex-officio Justice of Peace at Shore Court, praying for the registration of case that the lady is committing zina as the marriage still subsists. The order was made for registration of case. However, when the matter came up for adjudication before the Lahore High Court, Lahore, it was held that though SMS are admissible in evidence, but keeping in view the facts and circumstances of the case before the Leonard Court, it got no relevance. When I say it got no relevance, it means that the question of evidentiary value was decided by the Leonard single bench of the Honorable Lahore High Court, Lahore, stating that this is the inappropriate stage, meaning that this is not the appropriate stage to deal with the evidentiary value, as the matter regarding the recovery of articles of dowry is already sub judice before the Leonard Family Court. And the another aspect which was dealt with and examined in this case law was that there are certain conditions mentioned by the Sharia in order to pronounce effective divorce. Those prima facie are lacking, even that particular SMS. So the matter was left open. However, the question of admissibility was decided in affirmative in this case law. The next one is 2016 SCMR 274. It is Azim Khan's case, और इसमें अब जो हैं 3-4 ingredients मैं बताता हूं. तो it was a enunciation was made in an appeal arising out of from the capital punishment, but while dealing with the proposition, meaning thereby the SMS procured through the mobile telephone, it was concluded that cell phone must be owned by the person. One. Next one, if it is not owned by the person, there must be a constant use of that cell by that particular person to whom an objectionable material or SMS has been attributed. The next one is ownership of the cell or constant use by itself is not sufficient to prove a particular fact, meaning that by the SMS and its evidentiary value. It was also concluded that the SIM which was utilized or used should be in the name of the person who made SMS and the person to whom SMS was given. And if the SIM is not in the names of those two persons, then it is required to be established that these SIMs, meaning that both the SIMs are in constant use of those particular persons, maybe the complainant as well as the accused, or the person against whom there is an allegation which is a fact and issue. Location of area. It is also an important aspect which is required to be established. And the most important aspect is, so far as the voice message is concerned, the transcript, call data record by itself would not be sufficient to prove the fact. I give you the example. There is an allegation of abetment against A regarding the murder of X, which was committed by Z. According to the allegation, there was an instigation and abetment on the part of the A, to commit the murder, and the abetment was made not only verbally but also through voice messages. What the prosecution did? The prosecution produced CDR, call data record. Though it was taken into consideration, it was admitted in evidence, but it was concluded that the same call data record got no evidentiary value or got no binding force, no importance and weight can be given to this data for the simple reason that the CDR by itself is not sufficient to connect the person against whom there is an allegation of abetment. How? जो कॉल डाटा है, आप अगर देखें उसको, आपके पास पेश भी किया जाता होगा, वो कला साहबान भी कई पेश करते होंगे और डिफेंस वाले भी देखते होंगे और कंप्लेनेंट साइड पे भी। मेयर सीडीआर, प्रोडक्शन ऑफ सीडीआर, तो demonstrates the number of the cell from where call was made or voice message was sent. Similarly, the other telephone number, duration of the call, RSMS, and even location. But it is not known, even आप telephone call को भी देख लें, but the call data itself is not sufficient to highlight and disclose and expose the nature of the conversation or nature of the SMS. So the production of transcript is essential and necessary in order to bank upon it. If the prosecution or the defense wants to bank upon it in order to prove the guilt of the prosecution, or the defense has produced it in order to prove its innocence in view of the by producing evidence in rebuttal if it requires. तो ट्रांसक्रिप्ट का जो होना है, पेश करना जो है, वो बहुत जरूरी हो जाता है। ये 2016 SCMR 274 में. Another citation which can be referred to on the subject is, that is Mia Khalid Parvez versus the state through Special Prosecutor ANF and another, 2021, SCMR 522. Banking upon the rule of law laid down in Ishaq Ahmed Mirza versus Federation of Pakistan, PLD 2019, Supreme Court 675, and Azim Khan, जिसका मैंने अभी हवाला दिया है, versus Mujahid Khan, 2016, SCMR 274. It was opined by the Honorable Full Bench of the Supreme Court that, I quote, some of the documentary in defense produced by the appellant was recorded by automated information. Automated की definition मैंने आपको बताई कि उसमें transaction, electronic transaction ordinance 2002 में दी गई है, system which according to the law is admissible under Article 164 of Qanun Shahadat Order 1984. Admissibility का question resolve हो गया. Now the evidentiary value. But in case of denial, ये भी है proof का. The law requires that such evidence generated through the system of it must be proved in accordance with the law. The courts have been empowered to receive and make use of such evidence collected through modern technologies, Article 46A and 78 of the Order of it, as well as the provisions of the Electronic Transaction Ordinance provides procedure to receive and prove such evidence. आगे उन्होंने कहा कि reference in this regard वो जो 2019 सुप्रीम कोर्ट का और अजीम खान वाले केस का जो है वो हवाला दिया गया है. अब इसमें तो ये जो मुख्तसर तौर पर है कि मोबाइल कॉल्स का, SMS का, थ्रू मोबाइल या अदरवाइज. नेक्स्ट वन इज ईमेल, फैक्स और नेट के जरिए. ये जो है इस पे these are again any transaction, any document, any conversation, any correspondence through net, through fax is relevant and can be used as evidence, but certain subject to certain terms and conditions which I tell you. इसमें सबसे पहले मैं आपको हवाला देता हूं PLD 2003 Lahore 213, a judgment of Honorable Division Bench of the Lahore High Court. This appeal was pending, appeal arises from the election matter, Representation of the People's Act 1976. Facts in brief are that the respondent, who was Mahmood Shaukat Bhatti, filed nomination papers in the general election. The adversary raised objections that he is not eligible to contest the election because he does not fulfill the educational qualification. You must be knowing it that in the days of President Musharraf, educational qualification was fixed in order to contest the election of the parliament and the provincial assembly, and that was that at least he should be graduate. Objection was raised before the returning officer that, sir, prior to that particular election, the Shaukat Mahmood Bhatti, who was respondent before the Honorable Lahore High Court Lahore, showed his qualification as FA. But, and that too, prior to the date of earlier election. But in the current election, he has showed his qualification as graduate. And according to the nomination papers of Shaukat Mahmood Bhatti, he did his graduation from the University of Arkansas, the United States of America, in business administration. The objection raised by the appellant before the Honorable High Court did not find favor with the returning officer, and the matter came up for adjudication before the Honorable Division Bench of the Lahore High Court, being a tribunal. After hearing the arguments, a local commission was appointed, who was an advocate, in order to make contact not only with the University Grants Commission, but also with the Registrar of the University of Arkansas, United States of America, in order to verify the degree of the respondent, Shaukat Mahmood Bhatti. The respondent, being cautious of his weak points, made a compromise with the appellant before the learned tribunal and made statement before the Honorable Tribunal that in view of the compromise, he has withdrawn his nomination papers, which fact was endorsed by the appellant, and the appellant, in view of the offer made by the respondent, made request for withdrawal of the appeal. The learned tribunal, comprising Division Bench of the Honorable Lahore High Court, did not permit the appellant to withdraw the appeal and said, "Ab to ye nahi hoga. We will decide it." Or usme, for the reason, in the report of local commission, who made contact with the registrar of the University of Arkansas and the University Grants Commission, submitted his report, which was received by the registrar of the University of Arkansas through email and fax, that the person, meaning thereby the respondent, though got admission in first semester of business administration, Bachelor of Business Administration, but later on he opted to remain absent, and no degree was ever awarded in favor of that respondent. Since University Grants Commission recognized the degree, therefore the University Grants Commission was implemented as a respondent. What was held and concluded by the learned tribunal. I use the word learned tribunal for the reason that the learned Division Bench of the Honorable Lahore High Court was acting as a tribunal under the provisions of the Representation of the People Act 1976. The learned tribunal made reference to the Hasbury's laws of England, and while making reference to the provisions of Article 164 of the Qanun-e-Shahadat Order and making reference to the case of PLD 1976 Supreme Court 56, as I made reference earlier, commonly known as Abdul Wali Khan's case, said, learned counsel for the respondent has raised objection to the admissibility of the reports received from the fax or internet in these proceedings on the ground that unless the documents reports are verified by an official of the Pakistan High Commission in USA, those cannot be considered. This was the objection regarding the admissibility of the reports. The objection was repelled by the learned tribunal by concluding the objection of the learned counsel loses sight of Article 164 of Qanun-e-Shahadat Order, which mandates that the court may allow and use any evidence that is available through modern devices or techniques. The computer techniques is a modern technique and is well within the ambit of the aforereferred article, which reads as under, आगे आर्टिकल 164 को रिप्रोड्यूस किया गया, उसको मैं नहीं पढ़ता। अगेन द लंदन ट्रिब्यूनल मेड रेफरेंस टू द हार्सबरीज लॉज ऑफ इंग्लैंड, 4th edition, para 59, regarding the admissibility of statement received through computer. Just 3 or 4 lines I will read out. I quote, in any civil proceeding, a statement contained in the document produced by computer is subject to rules of a court admissible as evidence of any fact stated in it of which direct oral evidence would be admissible. If, number 1, if the document containing the statement was produced by the computer during a period over which the computer was used regularly to store or process information for the purpose of any activities regularly carried on over the period, whether for profit or not, by anybody, whether corporate or not, or by any individual. ये शर्त मैं आपको पहले भी बता चुका हूं कि कंप्यूटर मस्ट बी इन ऑपरेशन इन अ रूटीन, मे बी इन अ डोमेस्टिक यूज और मे बी यूज फॉर कमर्शियल पर्पज। और कमर्शियल पर्पज से हम ये कैसे अखज करते हैं, क्योंकि इसमें कहा गया for the purpose of any activities regularly carried on over that period, whether profit or not. So whether profit or not, this is attributed to the computer's function कि अगर कमर्शियल पर्पस के लिए भी यूज होता है, लेकिन शर्त यह है कि वो ऑर्डिनरी कोर्स में काम कर रहा हो। एंड द सेकंड वन, ओवर दैट पीरियड देयर वाज रेगुलरली एनीबॉडी, whether corporate or not, or by an individual operator. And third one, throughout the material part of that period, the computer was operating properly, or if not, that any respect in it was not operating properly, was out of operation during that part of the period and was not such as to affect the production of document or the accuracy of its content. And number 4, the information contained in the statement reproduces or is derived from information supplied to the computer in the ordinary course of these activities. So these are the 4 ingredients, are the prerequisite conditions in order to establish the question of admissibility and binding force. The next is the DNA test. DNA test को जेनेटिक टेस्ट भी कहते हैं, फिंगरप्रिंटिंग भी कहते हैं, और इसमें जो है सैंपल्स ऑफ सेल्स लिए जा सकते हैं. इट कैन बी सेल्स ऑफ स्किन, हेयर, ब्लड, सीमन एटसेट्रा. एंड ये जो है, अब द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज, ये किस किस पे जो है वो रेलेवेंट होंगे. इन द केस ऑफ रेप, particularly the gang rape, question of paternity, up, if it deals with it, it will be relevant. The another important question is its admissibility. Prior to making a reference to any case law, I will just draw your attention to the provisions of Section 9 of the Punjab Forensic Science Agency Act 2002, read with Section 510 of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1898. According to Section 9(3), Section 9 deals with the experts. Subsection 1 says, the government shall appoint an expert in the prescribed manner. Second one, no person shall be appointed as an expert unless he is qualified to conduct the examination, not so relevant for our purpose. Subsection 3, a person appointed in the agency as an expert shall be deemed to as an expert appointed under section 510 of the code and a person specially skilled in a forensic material under article 59 of the Kanun-e-Shahadat Order 1984. So, according to section 9, subsection 3, an expert appointed under the provisions of the Punjab Forensic Science Agency Act 13 of 2007 shall be considered as an expert within the meaning of section 510 of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1898. So the report of DNA shall be per se admissible, meaning thereby without its formal proof. However, if the exception can be created, and that exception already finds mention in section 510 of the Code of Criminal Procedure with reference to the report of the serologist, Forensic Science Agency, or such other reports, reference of which has been made in this subsection. But it is per se admissible. अब इसमें जो है मैं आपको जो ओरिजिनल केस लाइक इट वाज अ suo motu notice 2013 Supreme Court monthly review page 203 Saman Akram Raja versus Government of Punjab through Chief Secretary and another. Next one is 2019 Pakistan Criminal Law Journal 1652 Muhammad Suhail alias Shamma and others versus this state. फिर हम 1995 Pakistan Criminal Law Journal 1739. नेक्स्ट वन मैं जान के वो टाइटल छोड़ रहा हूं टाइम बचाने के लिए 2019 पाकिस्तान क्रिमिनल लॉ जर्नल नोट 120 PLD 2020 Lahore 774. It's a DB judgment and one more judgment of the Apex Court which has been though approved for reporting but not yet printed, and that is criminal petition number 513 of 2020 Ali Haider alias Pappu versus Jamil Hussain, etc. Making reference to the provisions of Article 59 of the Kanun-e-Shahadat Order 1984, read with Section 9, Subsection 3 of the Punjab Forensic Agency Science Act 2007, it was concluded that the report of DNA test is per se admissible. अब इसमें evidentiary value के हवाले से there is an important factor which is required to be kept in view by the courts and the advocates as well, maybe representing the complainant or the law officer or the defense side, so that they both may be able to know where they stand. And that is, prior to making reference, I will make reference to the report of chemical examiner and forensic agency with reference to the provision of the Control of Narcotic Substances Act 1997. Which cases are being dealt with by you for so many years. Even if the report of expert is in positive, which is per se admissible under Section 5(1) of the Code of Criminal Procedure, but if the prosecution remains failed to prove the safe security and custody of the sample parcel sent to the expert, then despite the fact that the report is in positive, it cannot be used as a corroborative piece of evidence. Agar prosecution in narcotics case remains unable to produce the person in whose custody the sample parcel was kept in safe custody, that's the Muharrar. Muharrar appeared, did not utter even a single word. The complainant, who is the investigating officer of the case as well, also did not utter even a single word in his direct statement that while coming back to the police station, he handed over the sample parcel to the Muharrar. His statement under section 161 of the code was also not recorded to this extent. And Muharrar also did not, in his statement, though appearing as a witness in the witness box, stated that on such and such date, he handed over the sample parcel to a constable. And there is a specific suggestion on the part of the defense that, look, the sample parcel was tampered with. So all these facts, totality of the facts will be sufficient to put a question mark to the safe custody of the sample parcel in the narcotics case. Similar is the position in the DNA test. If the safe custody of the parcel is in doubt, or the prosecution is in doubt for any reason, maybe due to lack of the evidence not produced, due to the lack of the evidence not collected. What I mean not collected, the statements of the witnesses were not recorded into section 161 of the code due to the lapse on the part of the investigating officer, then no implicit reliance can be placed upon the report of the DNA test. और इस पे बाकी भी जो मैंने केस लॉ आपको बताया है, मैं 2-3 और भी बताता हूं. इस पे PLD 2020 Lahore 774, a judgment of London Division Bench of the Lahore High Court, while making reference to the case law from the foreign jurisdiction, it was held that credibility, meaning thereby the evidentiary value, the binding force, the weight which can be attached to the report of the DNA test, depends upon the standard employed for collection and transmission of sample to the forensic laboratory. Safe custody is the vital and important aspect in this regard. तो अच्छा, 2-3 citation मैं आपको और बताता हूं. 2018 Supreme Court Monthly Review 2039, Ikramullah versus the state. 2015 SCMR 1002, and next one Khairul Bashar versus the state. 2019 SCMR 930. अब इसमें मैं आपको एक और साइटेशन बता रहा हूं, और वो है PLD 2020 Supreme Court 295 Irfan Ali versus the state. It was the jail petition by the condemned prisoners awarded capital punishment in a rape case. The judgment, the conviction and the sentence were endorsed, and when the matter came up for adjudication before the apex court, the counsel for the condemned prisoner raised objection that since in that particular case there was a lapse or omission on the part of the investigating officer to get the DNA test conducted, therefore the conviction cannot be maintained. The apex court ruled out this objection, keeping in view the overwhelming evidence produced by the prosecution, including the medical evidence. While making reference to the Aklar account and the medical evidence and the evidence of WMO, it was said and concluded that the medical evidence by itself is sufficient to corroborate the case of the prosecutress, who is just 15 years old. Why I have made reference to this? It means that though the evidence of DNA test is an important piece of evidence procured and generated through modern devices, but nevertheless, if otherwise evidence is available, then the omission by itself would not be sufficient to record acquittal. However, there is an important factor. If it would have been a case of gang rape, the position would have been different. Keeping in view, for example, if there were 3 or 4 accused, and it was the case of the prosecution that all the 4 or the 3 against whom there is an allegation and accusation committed rape, and all the accused controverted the allegation leveled by the prosecution, then in such eventuality, the DNA test was essential. However, here we are not dilating upon the aspect of essentiality, rather we are dealing with the question of admissibility and evidentiary value. Much more can be said on this aspect, but the wall clock which is before me does not permit me to share with you more detail. Next is CCTV footage, closed circle television की footage. इसमें फिर 2016 SCMR 2084 और वो भी मैं आपको बताता हूं मुख्तसर तौर पर. Mere production of CCTV footage would not be sufficient to rely upon. अब ये admissibility का mode of proof बता रहा है, unless and until man who prepared such footage from CCTV system appears and prove its genuineness. 2016 SCMR 2084. अब इस पे ऑब्जेक्शन भी आया था एडमिसिबिलिटी के हवाले से, and how it was dealt with. The apex court concluded, the learned counsel argued that actually the commission was appointed when defense requested the trial court to proceed against the investigating officer for committing perjury, and the commission was appointed in the said inquiry, but considered that no separate file for such inquiry was prepared. It was further argued that the document obtained through modern device as per se admissible are not per se admissible. Hence, Article 69 of the Qanun-e-Shahadat Order 1984 has no concern for proving the said document which was prepared from the CCTV. तो इसके लिए भी आपको जो मैंने साइटेशन बताई है, 3-4 चीजें मुख्तसर तौर पर मैं बताता हूं. नंबर 1, कैसे इसको एडमिट करेंगे एविडेंस में? The preparator has to be produced. Who prepared the such footage from CCTV system? Next one, genuineness has to be established. And the third one, the preparator undeniably will be subject to cross-examination. Jumping into the next, polygraph test. The polygraphic test, a polygraph test, is not commonly known in our judicial system. जिस तरीके से मैं आपको बतलाता हूं इसका जरा फंक्शन कैसे करता है, ये क्या चीज है. ईसीजी होती है, इसी तरीके से ये पॉलीग्राफिक टेस्ट भी होता है. In fact, it is a mental and brain exercise of the person against whom there is certain allegation, maybe in the criminal administration of justice or maybe in the civil administration of justice. And how it works, जिस तरीके से ईसीजी में जब होती है आपके या मेरे चेस्ट पे वो आवाज लगाते हैं, हाथों पे पांव पे लगा के, और उसके बाद इट इज सुपरवाइज्ड बाय द साइकोलॉजिस्ट, और वो पहले आपको बताते हैं कि हाउ द मशीन विल फंक्शन। मिसाल के तौर पर स्क्रीन पे आ जाता है, 4 डिजिट्स आते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल 9999, and the psychologist will say, difference between the psychiatrist and the psychologist, and the psychologist say कि जी आपने इनको पढ़ना है, जो अल्फाज है या कुछ और जो भी लिखा हुआ है आप इनको पढ़िए। एंड इफ आई एम सब्जेक्ट टू पॉलीग्राफ टेस्ट एंड आई सेड, पढ़ के मैंने कहा जी 9999, तो वो ब्लिंक करेगा ग्रीन या कुछ और जो भी करेगा, मीनिंग देयर बाय कि व्हाट एवर आई हैव सेड इट इज ट्रू। अब वो मुझे को कहेगा कि आप 2 जगह 9 पढ़ दें और 2 जगह कुछ और कहते हैं, हालांकि 4 9 डिजिट इस्तेमाल हुआ है। व्हाट आई सेड 8 9 7 6, अब वो वहां पे ब्लिंक करना शुरू कर देगा, मे बी द रेड, मे बी द सम अदर साइन, कि द मैन हु इज अंडर द टेस्ट इज नॉट स्पीकिंग ट्रूथ। तो ये है पॉलीग्राफिक टेस्ट इन ऑर्डर टू डिटरमिन द वेरासिटी ऑफ ए पर्सन। ये एक ब्रेन एक्सरसाइज है और साथ एक फिजिकल एक्सरसाइज भी है, अगेन सुपरवाइज्ड बाय द साइकोलॉजिस्ट एक्सपर्ट, एंड वो भी वहां पे बैठा होगा एंड ही विल मॉनिटर योर फेशियल एक्सप्रेशंस, बॉडी लैंग्वेज आपकी कर रहा हो, और उसके बाद जो है वो नतीजा निकालते हैं। तो मुसर तौर पर अब इस पे जो मैं आपको 3-4 अथॉरिटीज बताता हूं। 2000 MLD 1358, this is the Division Bench Authority of the Honorable Lahore High Court। 2008 MLD 1385, मुख्तसर तौर पर क्योंकि टाइम इज ओवर, इसमें यह कहा गया an accused who was awarded capital punishment and other sentences also was subject to polygraphic test, and the prosecution also relied upon that the report of that test. It was ruled from consideration by the Learned Division Bench with the conclusion that, I read, much emphasis has been laid by the Learned Deputy Prosecutor General of the result of polygraph test administered to Muhammad Amir Appellant on such and such date. According to the district test, as a result of the test, he found that the statement made by the appellant before the investigating officer implicating himself in the murder as correct. What was the conclusion drawn by the Learned High Court? Normally, this test is not administered to accused charged with criminal offense. However, the test is used for ancillary purpose, ascertaining the integrity of the employee, dealing with the money and the financial matters by banks and corporations. Therefore, the evidence of polygraph test, for reasons stated above, is of no avail to the prosecution and cannot be relied upon. जहां पे rely नहीं किया जाता. Another case law on the subject is PLJ 2020 Supreme Court Criminal Cases 107. इसमें भी पॉलीग्राफ टेस्ट की अहमियत से इनकार नहीं किया गया, लेकिन इसमें कंपैरिजन किया गया कि व्हाट इज द एविडेंशियरी वैल्यू ऑफ द पॉलीग्राफ टेस्ट एंड द एडमिशन ऑफ द गिल्ट। वो मैं सिर्फ दो लाइनें पढ़ाता हूं। पॉलीग्राफ टेस्ट, ए मॉडर्न फोरेंसिक मेथड टू अनअर्थ द ट्रूथ, may establish a person's capacity to lie. However, finding thereof cannot be equated with admission of guilt. Next one, 2018 Pakistan Criminal Law Journal, note 45, लाहौर jurisdiction से, और इसमें it was a case of anticipatory bail before the Leonard Single bench of the Lahore High Court, and while granting premium of the anticipatory bail, the Leonard Single judge in chamber also made reference to the polygraph examination and made reference to the conclusion. In my professional opinion, based on significant responses to the formulated test questions, that Mr. Abdul Qayyum, son of so-and-so, can be confirmed as truthful on his statement that he did not remove 20 lakh from the SAR's house in this case of theft. इस पे भी जो है वो रिलाई किया गया। फिर जो है 2013 पाकिस्तान क्रिमिनल लॉ जर्नल 140, और अब टाइम नहीं है तो मैं इसको पढ़ता नहीं हूं, लेकिन जो इसको भी आप देख सकते हैं। अब इसके बाद मैं इस टॉपिक पे इंडियन जुरिस्डिक्शन से एक अथॉरिटी देकर उसको खत्म करके लास्ट सब टॉपिक की तरफ आता हूं। 2010 7 SCC इंडियन जुरिस्डिक्शन 7 SCC सुप्रीम कोर्ट केसेस 263, एंड इसमें भी जो है पॉलीग्राफ टेस्ट के हवाले से जो है पैराग्राफ 15, पैराग्राफ 16 और पैराग्राफ 17 और 21 का जो है वो हवाला दिया गया है। दिस इज अ ब्यूटीफुल जजमेंट, इफ यू गॉट टाइम प्लीज रीड आउट इट। अब जो है लास्ट वन, ऑडियो एंड वीडियो कैसेट। इस पे सिर्फ मैं साइटेशन कोड करता हूं और उसमें से कुछ आपको पढ़ के सुनाता हूं। PLD 2019 सुप्रीम कोर्ट 675 इश्तियाक अहमद मिर्जा and 2 others versus Federation of Pakistan and others. A famous case arising out from the NAB jurisdiction. A video film was exposed with reference to a case, also got political background, और उस पे in order to while determining the evidentiary value and the mode of the proof, meaning thereby the mode of admissibility of the audio or the video cassette, it was concluded by the apex court. There are so many parameters enunciated by the apex court, but I will just read 5 or 6 which are much more important. Number 1, no audio tape or video could be relied upon by a court until the same was proved to be genuine and not tampered with or doctored. Next one, a forensic report prepared by an analyst of the Provincial Forensic Science Agency in respect of an audio tape or video was per se admissible in evidence in view of the provisions of Section 9, subsection 3 of the Punjab Forensic Science Agency Act 2007. Next one, under Article 164 of the Qanun-e-Shahadat Order 1984, it laid in the direction of the court. Make alfaz इस्तेमाल हुआ है Article 164 में, so इसलिए ये अल्फाज इस्तेमाल हुआ, it laid in the discretion of the court to allow any evidence becoming available through an audio tape or video to be produced. Even where a court allowed an audio tape or video to be produced in the evidence, such audio or video tape had to be produced in accordance with the law of evidence. Next one, accuracy of the recording must be proved and satisfactory evidence, direct or circumstantial, had to be produced so as to rule out any possibility of tampering with the record. Next one, an audio tape or video should be produced and evidence must be the actual record of the conversation as and when it was made, and when it was made, or of the event as and when it took place. Next one, the person regarding the conversation or event had to be produced. The person recording the conversation or event must produce the audio or video tape himself. The audio tape or video must be played in the court. An audio tape or video produced before a court as evidence are to be clearly audible or viewable. The person recording the conversation or event must identify the voice of the person speaking or the person seen, agar video hai, or the voice of the person seen may be identified by any other person who recognize such voice or person. Next, any other person present at the time of making the conversation or taking place of the event may also testify in support of the conversation heard in the audio tape or the event shown in the video. The videos, the voices recorded or the person shown must be properly identified. Safe custody of the audio tape or video after its preparation till production before the court must be proved. The transcript of the audio tape or video must have been prepared under independent supervision and control. The source of an audio tape or video becoming available had to be disclosed. An audio tape or video produced at a late stage of the judicial proceeding may be looked at with suspicion. The person recording an audio tape or video may be a person whose part of reviewing duty was recording of an audio tape or video, and he should not be a person who has recorded the audio tape or video for the purpose of laying a trap to procure evidence. बाकी चीजें मैंने छोड़ दी हैं, आप इसको पढ़िए क्योंकि time is over. So this is in brief the different aspects of evidence generated, collected, and prepared through modern devices, not only under Article 164, but also keeping in view the mandate of Article 46A, 59, explanations 5 and 6 of Article 73, provisions of Section 3 and 33 of the Electronic Transaction Ordinance 2002, and Section 9, subsection 3 of the Punjab Forensic Science Agency Act 2007. Ladies and gentlemen, the time was short, so there are so many things which could not be unearthed or shared with you people. I would recommend that the case law, particularly with reference to audio and video cassettes, CDRs, and regarding which I have made reference, should be perused by you people at the earliest, not only at the earliest, but as and when you are come across from a particular proposition, maybe the advocates, maybe the members of the bench. The advocates may be representing the complainant or the defense or the law officer. Because first of all, the role of the advocates and the law officer is a very important, because it is the law officer or the advocates representing either the complainant or the defense, who have to regulate the proceedings of their client. If they are well versed, they are well acquainted with the procedure, with reference to the relevancy of the facts, how a particular type of evidence has to be established, meaning by what is the mode of the proof and what is the evidentiary value. If the advocates are well aware and cautious, they will be not only assisting the court properly, but will be also making a noble cause and attempt for their client, keeping in view the mandate of the law. And if there is inability on the part of the advocates for any reason, the courts or the chair must be conscious of the law and would make reference to the relevant law, and not only at the time of receiving a particular document procured through modern devices, but also at the time of decision. And one thing more, word of care and caution for the chairs, that question of admissibility, which is always relevant and important, not only in the evidence collected through modern devices and techniques, but also through orthodox mode and manner. If any objection is raised, it should be settled at that very moment and should not be deferred ये लिखकर कि जी वक्त बहस इसका फैसला किया जाएगा, for the simple reason that the chair should not give any surprise either to the plaintiff or the defendant, or to the complainant or the law officer or the counsel for the defense, and there should be, and that exercise can only be done by the chair when when the chair is a clear-headed, and the purpose and the object can only be obtained if one is well versed about the law on this subject. Thank you very much for patience hearing. अब अगर कोई आपने सवाल पूछता है तो everyone is welcome.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर. आवाज नहीं आ रही. अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर. सेशन जज अटक सैयद नवीद रजा बुखारी बोल रहा हूँ सर. मेरा सर क्वेश्चन ये है कि जब हम वीडियो लिंक के जरिए एविडेंस रिकॉर्ड कर रहे हो, तो अगर डिफेंस उस विटनेस की आइडेंटिटी को अगर अटैक करे, तो उसको कैसे प्रूव किया जाएगा, उसकी आइडेंटिटी को, विटनेस की आइडेंटिटी?
But it depends upon the objection, gentlemen. It depends upon the objection. What sort of the objection he has raised? For example, और इसमें जो पहली चीज है, ये जो मैंने जो आपको बातें बताई है ना, उसमें मैंने आपको क्या दिया कि it depends upon the objection. Recording of evidence either in the court or through video link is a procedural aspect. Article 164, 59, 46A are other enabling and permissive provisions of law, read with the provision of the Electronic Transaction Ordinance, deals with some other matters, and that is not, these specifies the documents which can be admitted in evidence provided the proper mode is adopted by the party who is banking upon that particular document. So far as your question is concerned, कि जी उसकी आइडेंटिटी को करते हैं, you can see him कि जी his identity card, देखिए ना, national identity card जो CNIC है, that's a very important aspect, and even if he questions it, कहता है कि जी नहीं ये जाली शनाख्ती कार्ड है, तो you can repel this objection. दिखाएगा ना जी, ऑब्जेक्शन तो होगा ना जी. वो कहता है जी ए नहीं ये बी है जी, उसको कोई शो भी दी ऑब्जेक्शन CNSI, उसमें उसके पर्टिकुलर लिखे होंगे जो आपने लिखे हैं, ए सन ऑफ बी का सो एंड सो, रेजिडेंट ऑफ सो एंड सो.
राइट.
Any other question?
Sir, Assalamu alaikum. जावेद बोसाल अटक से सर। सर हम क्रिमिनल केसेस में देखते हैं कि जो CDR है अक्सर पेश होता है और रिपेल हो जाता है ट्रायल कोर्ट लेवल पे भी और सुपीरियर कोर्ट्स लेवल पे, क्योंकि वो एक ही कर रहे हैं कि DPO ऑफिस से ये IU कलेक्ट करता है, DPO ऑफिस ने कोई अनऑफिशियल या जो भी उन्होंने अरेंजमेंट की हुई है किसी एजेंसी के साथ से कि जहां वो गेट पे उनके होते हैं वहां से वो लेते हैं। तो इसकी सर जो मोड ऑफ प्रूफ है इसके बारे में ये अक्सर एविडेंस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एविडेंस होती है, स्पेशली लोकेशन ऑफ द एक्यूज या लोकेशन ऑफ द एरिया के बारे में। तो इसका सर क्या मोड ऑफ प्रूफ या एडमिसिबिलिटी का यार्डस्टिक क्या रखेंगे हम?
अच्छा, इसमें क्योंकि टाइम कम था, मैं आपको एक और चीज भी बताता हूँ, फिर इस पर भी आता हूँ। ये सेक्शन 3 है जो मैंने पढ़ा भी था, ऑफ द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक ट्रांजैक्शन ऑर्डिनेंस 2002। I again read it. No document, record, information, communication or transaction, ये थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट है लेकिन ये भी shall be denied legal recognition, admissibility, effect, validity, proof or enforceability on the ground that it is in the electronic form. अब important अल्फाज आ रहे हैं, and has not been attested by any witness. आप अगर बड़े, पहले मैं वो जो दो मैं साइटेशन पे आपको देता हूं, आप अगर बड़े शॉपिंग मॉल में जाएं या जो हैं बड़े हॉस्पिटल्स में जाएं तो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक जनरेटेड रिसीट्स आपको देते हैं, रिपोर्ट्स पे यही होती हैं। आगा खान की देख लें, शौकत खान की देख लें, अगर आप उसको पढ़ेंगे तो लिखा होगा सिंस इज इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली जनरेटेड देयरफॉर देयर आर नो सिग्नेचर्स। ठीक है ना जी। अच्छा, अब ये जो मैं आपको दो अथॉरिटीज दे लूंगा फिर मैं उस पर आता हूं, अगर जो डिफरेंट क्वेश्चन है। PLD 2013 कराची 104 एंड 2013 CLD 88 लीव टू डिफेंड की एप्लीकेशन आई जी, ठीक है जी। एंड वो कहते हैं ना सब्सटेंशियल क्वेश्चन ऑफ लॉ और फैक्ट होना चाहिए। And one of the objection, which according to the customer, was that the statement of the accounts, which has been produced by the bank, is not signed by any witness. The objection was repelled by the Honorable Sindh High Court, despite the fact, though the objection was proper on the factual premises raised by the debtor. उन्होंने कहा क्योंकि ये इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली जनरेटेड है लिहाजा इस पे जरूरत नहीं है। अच्छा, अब आता है आपका सवाल कि जी लोकेशन कैसे डिटरमिन की जाएगी। अगर जो इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग ऑफिसर या इन्वेस्टिगेशन एजेंसी या इन्वेस्टिगेशन टीम अगर समझदार है, आप अगर जो देखें CDR में ट्रांसक्रिप्ट आपको अलग लेना पड़ेगा, वरना उसमें आप अगर वो समझदार हो तो वो जो मुतलका एजेंसी होगी कोई भी हो उसको ये सारी चीजें लिख के देंगे कि जिसमें लोकेशन भी जो है आप जो है हाईलाइट करेंगे। और उसमें कुछ जगह पर वो कहते हैं नहीं करते, लेकिन अगर इन्वेस्टिगेशन एजेंसी कहे तो उसमें लोकेशन भी जो है कॉलर की और रिसीवर की वो लोकेशन भी जो है वो आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं। और उससे आपको पता चल सकता है, उसमें दो चीजें होती हैं, नंबर ऑफ द कॉलर, नंबर ऑफ द पर्सन हु रिसीव द कॉल, ड्यूरेशन ऑफ द कॉल, द लोकेशन ऑफ बोथ द पर्संस। और लोकेशन ऑफ बोथ द पर्सन जो है बाकी कुछ चीज नहीं होगी। ट्रांसक्रिप्ट जो है कि क्या बातचीत हुई उसके लिए आपको ट्रांसक्रिप्ट भी लेना पड़ेगा, लेकिन लोकेशन भी जो होती है वो भी CDR में दर्ज होती है। और अगर किसी में दर्ज नहीं होती तो वो जो है वो इन्वेस्टिगेशन टीम या इन्वेस्टिगेशन एजेंसी का कसूर होता है, वरना लोकेशन दर्ज होती है। मैं बड़ी पुरानी सी बात है, उस वक्त तो ना ये इलेक्ट्रॉनिक ट्रांजैक्शन ऑर्डिनेंस 2002 आया था। आई वॉज वर्किंग as a judge anti-terrorism court Lahore. बड़ी पुरानी बात है. Or that was a case of abduction for ransom. The particular victim was abducted from the Lahore and was taken to the Chakwal. ठीक है जी. तो वो पहले तो उस वक्त ये मोबिलिंग का था, स्टिल आई रिमेंबर, उस वक्त वो इतनी एडवांस भी नहीं थी. आज से इट वाज 99 2000 की बात है, 16-17 साल पहले. लेकिन उन्होंने कहा जी, लेकिन मैंने उनको कहा लाएं और वो ड्यूरेशन वाली लाए, सॉरी लोकेशन वाली लाए. उनसे ये आपको एग्जैक्ट तो नहीं ना होगा. उन्होंने कहा जी नियर जो है पंजाब जुडिशल अकेडमी, नियर दी लाहौर हाई कोर्ट, जो भी उनका जो होगा वो सेंटर होगा, उससे आप लोकेशन जो है उस बंदे की कॉलर की भी डिटरमिन हो सकती है और दूसरे की भी हो सकती है. लेकिन डिपेंड्स अपॉन द इन्वेस्टिगेशन टीम और द इन्वेस्टिगेशन ऑफिसर.
सर सॉरी, एक थोड़ा सा इंसिडेंटल इसके साथ इंसिडेंटल क्वेश्चन है कि कंप्यूटर जनरेटेड तो कोई इंफॉर्मेशन ये है कि ऑटोमेटेड जो है इंफॉर्मेशन एडमिसिबल है, रेलेवेंट भी है, मगर सर अगर ऑथराइज्ड सोर्स अगर फर्स्ट के डीपीओ ऑफिस जो है वो टेलीनॉर की दे रहा है या जोंग की दे रहा है एंड डीपीओ ऑफिस इज नॉट ऑथराइज्ड टू एक्सेस दैट इंफॉर्मेशन लीगली, तो क्या अगर जो सीडीआर डीपीओ ऑफिस प्रोवाइड कर रहा है और सारे केसेस में, क्रिमिनल केसेस में वही आ रहा है, जो डीपीओ ऑफिस देता है, दे हैव गॉट सम अनऑथराइज्ड एक्सेस टू दैट डाटा थ्रू सम इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसी, क्या उसकी हम एडमिसिबिलिटी या लीगलिटी जो है उस पर सर में थोड़ी सी रहनुमाई चाहिए?
मैं नहीं समझ सका, आई डिड नॉट गेट दी जोक. कैसे आप कहते हैं कि डीपीओ ऑफिस जो है वो अनऑथराइज्ड?
सर ऐसा है कि सिर्फ एक तो है कि ऑटोमेटेड कोई कंप्यूटर है या किसी भी से आप इंफॉर्मेशन लेते हैं, ये क्या सिर्फ सफिशिएंट है या ये भी जरूरी है कि जिस सोर्स से आ रही है इंफॉर्मेशन क्या वो सोर्स ऑथराइज्ड है? हमारे सर जितने भी सीडीआर आ रहे हैं वो डीपीओ ऑफिस जारी कर रहा है. डीपीओ ऑफिस ऑथराइज्ड नहीं है कि वो टेलीनॉर, जोंग या भारत की किसी इंफॉर्मेशन को एक्सेस कर सके. इन्होंने एक अनऑफिशियल अनऑथराइज्ड अरेंजमेंट की हुई है किसी इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसी के साथ. वो उनके गेटवे को, जो हमारा पीटीए का गेटवे है, उसको एक्सेस करते हैं और उससे ये इंफॉर्मेशन जो है आगे जनरेट करके हमें देते हैं. दो इट इज ऑटोमेटेड बट the person, the agency, the authority which is generating it, that is not authorized to access it. तो अब सारे जो सर क्रिमिनल, सर आई एम क्लियर नाउ?
यस, ये आ जाएगी बात प्राइमरी एविडेंस की और सेकेंडरी एविडेंस की. देखें ना जी, ओरिजिनल है कि जी कोई मोबिलिंक है, भारत है, जोंग है, टेलीनॉर है या कोई और है, तो बेस प्रिंसिपली तो जो सीडीआर होनी चाहिए, कॉल डाटा रिकॉर्ड होना चाहिए, वो इशू होना चाहिए उस कंपनी की तरफ से, उसी कंपनी की तरफ से होना चाहिए. अब ये करने के लिए ये मुझे पता नहीं है कि उनके पास किस तरीके से वो कलेक्ट करते हैं, लेकिन जो आपने बताया है प्रामा फेसाई दैट अपीयर्स टू बी एन अनऑथराइज्ड मोड. प्रामा फेसाई मैंने लफ्ज इस्तेमाल किया, दैट अपीयर्स टू बी एन अनऑथराइज्ड मोड एंड इट शुड बी ब्रॉट टू द नोटिस ऑफ द लर्नड सेशन जज. और क्रिमिनल जस्टिस कोऑर्डिनेशन कमेटी की मीटिंग में जो होता है वो सेशन जज सबको डीपीओ के साथ ये सॉर्ट आउट करना चाहिए और बल्कि फिर वो आपको बताएं कि जी ये जो है ये इस तरीके से कलेक्ट करते हैं, और उनको जो डीपीओ को भी ये एक्सप्लेन करना चाहिए कि ये जो प्रोविजंस हैं इलेक्ट्रॉनिक ट्रांजैक्शन ऑर्डिनेंस की, इसकी फला प्रोविजन में फॉल करता है, हम इस तरीके से जो इसको कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं. किसी एजेंसी का कलेक्ट करना बाय इटसेल्फ उसको कोई सेंटिटी अटैच नहीं है. मे बी इंफॉर्मेशन सही, लेकिन इट शुड बी रिजॉल्व इन द मीटिंग ऑफ द क्रिमिनल जस्टिस कोऑर्डिनेशन कमेटी. लेकिन बाहर वो जो है आप किसी एजेंसी से, वो जो भी उनकी है एजेंसीज, उनसे मदद लेके वो जारी कर देता है, उसको नहीं है. हाँ, मोबिलिंक का तो मोबिलिंक वाला करे, जायज का करे, भारत का करे, टेलीनॉर का करे. जो देखे ना ये ओरिजिनल सोर्स है तो वो बज़ाहिर अनऑथराइज्ड होता है. एंड कंसर्न्ड डीपीओ इफ इट इज सो, और ये केसेस हैं, तो द कंसर्न्ड लर्नड सेशन जज should inquire from the DPO that how you issue your man or your officers or your officials are the agency or the group which has been created by the DPO in his office, how they are competent and authorized to issue such type of CDR.